the hollers and hills of West Virginia. It's Heavenly Hills Homestead with another episode. Stay tuned. Boom! All right, Dynamite. What are we going to do today? Lots of things. We are, but mainly you guys, y'all are going to be taught a lesson today. So I got my book in from Prevegenics, and we're going to kind of go through some of their products, and more specifically though, what is in their products that makes them so valuable to us as consumers, growers, okay, farmers, those things, okay, because there is quite a bit of research and development that they put into this, and their product is far superior to those of other people's products that we may be currently using at the moment. Like I told you before, one of the biggest things that attracted me to them was price point. Okay, that's the first attraction, and then the fact that it actually worked on my plants, because the stuff that I'd used beforehand had not worked at all. Okay, there was no previous use to any of that, so it works, and I like that. So we're gonna kind of go through all that stuff and everything, but right now we're gonna get busy working on taking care of these animals for the evening. And all that stuff. Man, that grass is so thick down in there. It looks good. The patch looks great, except for down there on that end where it didn't get no sun. But now that we're getting sun, and guys, look here. I'm in shorts. It's February and I'm in shorts. That gets you excited. It was snowing 2 days ago, and well, it snowed a little bit yesterday too. So, anyhow, we'll get on this. We got to pull them. Don't want that. Them seeds go. You got to pull that out and get them seeds out of there. Tons of seeds left in these pods. Still need to collect all those. Kentucky Wonders. If you need Kentucky Wonders, guys, come to me. Buy them from me. All right, guys. You'll be supporting me, helping me, and supporting the veterans that I try to help. All right. So buy all your seeds from me, please, 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 please. If you got any questions about the seeds, and I've got it, buy them from me if you don't mind. Okay. Everything's germinated, tested. I test it myself. If it germinates and stuff and beats and is up to my standards, then I give it the stamp of approval, and we send it down the road. So anyhow, let's see here. I'm trying to think of everything we need to do. Oh, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do about this particular subject that we're going to mention just briefly. So in the garden here, let's just go in here real quick. While we're here, let's just go in here and talk about this. So I'm kind of at this weird point right now, right? To where I don't know what I'm going to do about certain things. I'm thinking about pulling up some of these paneling, okay? And so here's the thing. Some of these peppers, pepper plants and stuff, serve very little purpose, so I'm going to grow very little of them, okay? More specifically, the hotter ones. I'm going to grow the hot ones, but I'm not going to grow the hot ones in here specifically. I'm going to grow a couple hot ones, but some of these I will not be growing this year. Just because they just, nobody uses them in high quantities except for me, and I eat them. So I'll plant me like 1 or 2 plants of each thing, and then we'll grow them in some other places. Probably going to grow them up and around the greenhouse and stuff, because it stays nice and warm up in there in that area, and everything, and gets a lot of daylight. So we'll probably plant some of the hotter peppers up there. But with that being said, it'll give me a little bit of room in here to kind of diversify some of what else I plant in here, and be able to get a better standing. But we need to grow vertical. And so these panels, what I was thinking about these panels is they're great because they kept the deer out in 2020. Because 2020, this was my deer fence. Deer could walk all in here, okay? But now in 2021, when I put the fence up, deer no longer could come in here, okay? So I didn't need the fence really. The only thing I need the fence for is to protect my garden from the other animals that I have, right? And so it helps with that. But here's what I was thinking. So I have, I grow down in here, right? I grow down here on the other side of this fence, right? Well, it does me no good to have this fence up and then grow on the other side of it, right? But I don't have enough panel to take it out there, right? So it's no sense. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to make sure that the animals are blocked off good and they cannot get out. So far, so good for the pigs. I'm thinking so far, so good for the goats, because I'll take 2 panels and put down there on their situation that they got there, right? And block them off good. Now I won't have to worry about them, okay? No more worrying about those. The only thing I'd have to worry about is the chickens, right? And so I can either, one, buy a taller net, which I don't know how much taller you get, and do it that way, or work out something other, right? Either way, if I do it right, the only panels that I need around the garden are these panels up here, right? And those are the ones that I keep separated. I keep the chickens separate from there. And how in the world them 2 chickens right there got over here, I have no idea. But I'm glad they're in here and not outside of it. I want them in here. I like them to be in here. If the little things would stay in here. It's when they don't stay in here that they got the problem. As long as they're in here eating and cleaning up. I mean, look at all the food that's laid around, everything they get scratching and stuff. But they don't want to stay in here. They want to make their way out, all right? And that's aggravating that they do that. Anyways, so I only need them 2 up there, or 3 rather. There's 3 up there. Okay, I only need them 3 or so up there, all right? The rest of these panels, they can all be taken down. All right, so then what do I do with all these panels I got, right? It opens this area up. I can grow bigger and better out that way, right? Because I won't have to worry about a fence. That was one thing I contended with last year when I planted my watermelon in here. Well, it would try to go through the fence. Well, some of it did go through the fence, and then it just became a big old jumbled up mess because I was trying to separate animals from my plants, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make sure that the chickens can't get out. I'm gonna test this, and stuff, and make sure that everything's good. They can't get out, and that they're well taken care of, blocked in, and I won't have to worry about them getting in my plants. Okay. And then after I've got that hammered down and I know that it's good, then I'll take up my paneling. Okay. And all the paneling will come up all the way around this. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 panels, 11 panels. Okay, so I'll have 11 panels that will come away from here, okay? And what am I going to do with those 11 panels? Well, I'm going to make hoops, or trellises, or whatever you want to call it, tunnels. Okay, basically. And I'll show you how it's done. There's other videos out there of it, so it's not a new thing. But you take your fence posts, right, and you bend your fence posts in, one on either side, and you put one fence post on either side, and then you set your cattle panel in on one side, bend it over into the other, make like a tunnel, right? Like a, you know, so you got, here's one, here's two, right? There's your fence posts, and you arch it up, you know, and that way you can walk under it. And you plant your plants on either side of the arch, right? And they grow up the arch. Well, I just spent $150, roughly 150, I think it was right at 150 bucks yesterday, on new seeds. Yes, new seeds, from Baker Creek. And to go along with all the things that I've already got, right? And so some of them were like watermelons that were, you know, climbing, that you could use, you could let them climb, right? And stuff. So, you know, just takes it away from the ground, gets it growing vertical, gives me more room on the ground. If I've got vining plants growing up on trellises, right, then that gives me more room on the ground for vining plants that can't trellis. Like, say if I wanted to grow giant watermelon over here, right, and cucumbers, okay, well, I can grow my cucumbers up on the trellis and grow my giant watermelons on the ground. You see what I'm saying? So it just gives me more space for the home garden, okay, and for the giant growing, because giant growing takes up a lot of space. And if I was to give everything the room that it needs, really I shouldn't even have a garden, because I mean, you just ain't got room for it if you gave everything the space it needs. But if you can grow things vertical, right, and keep the ground open for your giant stuff, then you have maximized your space. And it's just like in the city when they run out of room in the city, what do? They start building skyscrapers, right? And so same principle here. You know, you run out of room for your ground floor attendees, okay? Then I've got to go vertical. All right, and I'll just start going vertical with everything that I can. Some other things that's going to save me some room. I'm not going to grow any of these thinking. If I do grow kiwanis, it's going to be like 1 or 2 plants. I am not growing no 5 or 6 of them plants ever again. Okay? For one, nobody eats them. For two, it's just, you know, a mess. I mean, now they might be somebody that, you know, I eat them, okay, and there might be, you know, the kids that eat them, but like as around here, just people don't really, I don't know, they just didn't really want them last year. So, I mean, I'm going to grow them, I'm just not going to grow that many, and when I do grow them, they're not going to be in my garden. They're not going to be anywhere over here, because they just take over. I'm going to put them actually on the fence up in the front yard, because that just let, and then if I do put it up there, like I'm saying, I probably will let them sprawl out and just, you know, maybe grow 5 or 6 plants up there, because then they can just take over the whole fence, and then I ain't got to worry about anybody looking in here, right? The other thing is the Mexican cucumbers, right? The Mexican sour gherkins. They're not going to be grown in here either, because they take over as well. I mean, you can see they just take over everything. So they're going to be out of here. That will free up this whole corner over here. All right, we won't have no worries about that. Now, my Rich Sweetness 132 melons, I will not be growing them in here either. They will be grown on trellises, as well as cucumbers and things like that. Now, if it is a bushing cucumber, I will probably grow it in here if it's a bush cucumber. Beans will no longer be grown in here. Beans are coming out, they're going on trellises. Plus, this needs a break. All this right here, this needs a break. I've done planted there 2 years in a row with beans. I'm giving it a break for the beans, so those are coming out. I won't be planting nearly as many huckleberries, and when I do plant them, they're not going to be planted in here. I'm going to plant, because we eat the huckleberries, just seemed like nobody else really was wanting to buy or get them or whatever. I'll probably plant several of them and sell the plants to people who want them, but I will not be growing them in this many in one area. I think I grew 16 of them this past year, and y'all see. I mean, they majority of them got wasted. I mean, they were just kept on and on and on. They just put way too many on, and I don't like wasting stuff. And so we'll plant them, we'll grow them, but not as many of them. And when we do grow them, we'll be growing them up front as more or less like an ornamental than anything else. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of planting of things this year that I tried to do late in the year last year, and then it just didn't turn out good because I tried too late. So I'm gonna do it early in the year, get my plan set out, get everything made, get everything, in my mind where I want what at, which is a really good thing for you guys to be doing right now. Instead of waiting till April, May, when you're trying to prep your soils and you're trying to grow your seeds and everything, you're trying, go ahead now and, just kind of take inventory of where you've grown what at and what you want to do this year, right? So all these peppers here that were grown here, no peppers this year, right? I'm going to take all my peppers and I'm going to put the peppers over here on this stuff, right here where the tomatoes were, or maybe even behind, back there, okay? And grow all the pepper plants back here in the back. I'll take tomatoes, put them over here, up in here, all this stuff, right? And all down through them, right? Now I know, they're both, they're both nightshades, but the thing is, I don't have room to really swap them, but I can swap them, in spots, you know what I mean? So I won't grow the tomatoes in that same area. All right, I'll move the tomatoes and I'll grow them somewhere else in the garden, okay, and do the peppers somewhere else. Even though they're both nightshades, they're not both going to be in the same area in this, every year. That way I can try to minimize as best as I possibly can, what's being grown where. Now my corn, corn is a heavy feeder. Corn got growed right through here last year, okay, and you see beans still did good there, and so did my plants. Look how big them plants are, right? Some of my biggest plants were grown right there, all right, where the corn was. So corn, although it's a heavy feeder, we're going to leave the corn right here because I believe this was a phenomenal little corn patch. It produced really, really well. I liked it. We're just going to have to throw the fertilizer to it and let that be that, okay? But we will plant the corn back here. May even extend the corn some. We'll see how that works out. But that's kind of the thing that we're going for this year, is maximizing space, building new structures and things, and trying our best to do as best as possible with what little bit of land we got. Right now, there will be some watermelon beds built and some cantaloupe beds built and some other things, that I'll try to work out and build. Right now I'm trying to get some lumber from a couple neighbors down here that's got a bunch of scrap lumber. It's kind of like what I got from Van and Allen. It's been sitting there for years and years and years, and they're not going to use it. So if they're not going to use it, I'd love to have it, and I can use it for building things here in the yard that are just going to grow fruits and vegetables and stuff, right? So I'm going to be building carrot box and giant Swede box and stuff like that, right? So we'll have a lot of giants built boxes and things, and we'll have to get soil for those. There's just so many things. So it's going to be busy from here on out. Once we get to about March, from March on out, we're going to be busy until next October. Okay, guys, it's getting time. It's getting ready. All right, and so it's we gotta get with the program. Okay, hopefully my seeds will be in Friday. I'm hoping. At least by Friday, Saturday maybe. But as soon as they get in, we'll go over those. We'll do a seed overview and stuff, and we still got a lot of learning to do. So anyhow, we'll hopefully be able to teach you guys a whole lot. Maybe you guys can teach me a whole bunch, because I mean, I'm not, trust me, I am not a professional by any means. So I need to learn some things too. If you got suggestions or ideas or things like that, or go ahead and put them on her. I'm all about hearing them. And just because I maybe I can't do it, or maybe I don't want to do it, or maybe I've tried it before, whatever. But I'm all about hearing them. So if you guys got ideas and stuff like that, send them my way. Love to hear them. But anyhow, let's get these chickens fed up here and all the animals, and get inside and get you guys learning about these Prevegenics products and how they are beneficial to us as growers. Okay, watch them. Get away from me. Good boys. Good boys. Good boys. Yeah, there's my boys. Alright, guys. So, some unfortunate news that I've got to share with you today concerning my goats. Not these goats here in this particular place, but the one that I had bought that was pregnant, that I hadn't brought home yet. So yesterday, she aborted her young. She was not as far along as what she should have been, which I told y'all last week, had been the consensus that she may have aborted earlier and then got re-pregnant. So anyways, she just aborted again, and he was very adamant about not letting her go. He'd just take her to a stock sale this spring and be done with her, and I could get a different goat that's going to do what we needed to do instead of being a yard ornament. So that was very nice of him. So we're going to feed these two rascals here and get on with the rest of this video. Guys, so we're in here now. I'm going to be doing a little bit of studying on things, but first let's go over some seeds that we got today from our good friend Terry Nelson right here in West Virginia. He's up there at Thomas, West Virginia, right there close to Cary Gross. Met them this year at the North Carolina State Fair. Very good people, liked them. Says he's going to be taking a break this year. I really wish he was growing. It was an enjoyment seeing his pumpkin last year. That thing was massive. It looked like a king-size bed laying there, guys. I kid you not. But anyhow, I got in touch with him, and I asked if I could have a seed from that particular pumpkin. It was a 1911 to self, 1911 Urana to self, and he said, sure, send him a bubble. I did, and he sent me all this. I only asked for one seed, and he sent me a bunch of them. So here we got the 1686 Nelson from 2020. There's the mother and the father. Another set of 1686s. All right. Then he sent me this right here. This was last year's 1675.5. The Nelson 2021 1911 Urana to self. That's a good one right there. I mean, I guess all these are really good. Look how big these things are. Here's a nice one. 2005 Haste to self, buddy. That 2005 Haste is some good stuff. Here we have another 1698 or 1686. Good night of living. I think I couldn't read. 1686, and we have another 1463.5. So that's a lot of seeds, guys. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 4. That's 19 seeds, man. That's a lot of seeds. Thank you, Terry. We appreciate that so much. That's a real big help. So now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of shift a little bit, and we're going to get into our learning station. So let's start learning some about this stuff right here. Okay, guys, Prevegenics book that I got right here. We're going to learn about some of this stuff in here tonight, and or today, whatever you want to call it, and kind of explain to you guys in depth why I use it, why I think it's good, and why I think you should use it. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So I'm going to go over some of this stuff really quick, and first we're going to start out with a few things right here. Now, there is more to all this, of course, and some of this they cannot give. Some of this stuff I can't give out because it would be, their formulas, right? So I have to be careful with some of this stuff, and You know, I've asked them to kind of, you know, give me the rundown of what I can talk about and what I can't, okay? Because you don't want to give away your secrets, right? Your secret recipes, right? I mean, so so here's something on the Hygro Wick Technology Certified Prevegenics. Hygro is a H-Y-G, it's H-Y capital G-R-O-W, okay? Wick, W-I-K. Right, Hygro Wick. Done tap to download this 3 times. Gotta use my iPad because you guys have got my phone for this one. So, open it up there, Padre. Hang on a minute. All right, guys, so here we go. We'll be talking about Hygro Wick Technology, recognizing the need for a safer, more reliable foliar fertilizers. Prevegenics LLC developed an innovative new manufacturing process we've termed Hygro Wick Technology. This new technology offers growers the latest in systemic foliar chemistry and provides new tools for growing healthier, more productive plants. The Hygro Wick Technology advantage is, you know, their company is growing expeditiously. Why? Because they've come up with state-of-the-art science behind the Hygro Wick technology, and it works. Less than 2 hours after the application, 80% of the applied mineral nutrients are systemically absorbed into the plant. Guys, why am I using this? I told you earlier in the video, I said, guys, there's a reason why I bought the CalMag and stayed with it, right? So, first reason that I bought the CalMag was the price point. The price point was there. You know, 32 ounces, I think, is what the bottle is, and it was $18.99 for a 32-ounce bottle, right? So the price point was there. The second reason I did that is because I used less of that than I did the Blue Planet. I bought a whole gallon of Blue Planet and used it in like 2 weeks and seen no effects to my pumpkin plants whatsoever or anything else that I put it on, okay? And that right there is just not going to fly here with me, okay? If I put it on there, I expect to see some results in a week or so, right? No. When I put this new stuff on, when I went and bought the Prevegenics CalMag, I knew nothing about these people. I didn't know nothing about their products. All I did was look and said, that seems like a good one there, and it's a good price point. Let's buy it, let's try it. If it don't work, I'm only out 18 bucks. If it does work, we'll get more of it. What happened? It worked, and I bought a bunch more of it. All right, guys. And after having talked with them and everything, this same system in their CalMag is set up in everything, right? It's in their boron, it's in their magnesium, it's in their manganese, it's in their CalMag, and their, you know, their what else do they got? Copper and nickel. The opulent blend. Oh goodness, the calcium and the oh man, what is the other thing? The I know I use it all the time, right on top of my head. It's the stuff that you put in the daggone amino acids. Good night living, man. I could not think of that. It's in their amino acids. It's in their zinc boron, their cal boron. It's in everything, right? This technology right here. Read that again. Less than 2 hours after the application, 80% of the applied mineral nutrients are systemically absorbed into the plant. They have found a way that we can take and spray this on our plants, all right, and get 80% of it into the plant within the first 2 hours after application. Now you tell me another product that's going to give you that and get guaranteed analysis on that and tell you this is exactly what you're getting, and we know it for a fact. We've studied it, we know the science is right, we know what we got is right, And if you apply it, you're going to get these same results. Who else can guarantee you that? Who else is going to give you that benefit, right? And the assurance, especially as a giant grower. Guys, when we're growing this stuff for competition, you know, we're growing it because we like to do it. It's a good, fun hobby and everything. But it's a lot of money to do it, right? We want to make sure that our money is going as far as it can go, right? So if we've got a fertilizer that we know if we spray this much of it on, this much of it is being used by the plant, then I'm happy with that, because that means I'm using less of the fertilizer and spending less at the long run, right? So I'm good with that. Okay, why would I want to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to get maybe about, maybe, because here's the thing, none of us are guaranteed to get the win at the end of the year, right? We're not guaranteed to win these competitions, right? We can go down there with a 1,700-pound pumpkin and somebody blow you up with 1,705, okay? So you're not guaranteed anything. Pumpkins look different. I mean, pumpkins look heavy compared to other ones, and they end up going light, you know what I mean? And then a little one goes heavy, okay? I know firsthand, I thought I had third place, at least fourth, at Spring Hope this year. I ended up like sixth or something, right? Why did that happen? Because there was a tiny little old pumpkin measuring about 700 pounds, okay, ended up being 930 or something, right? Like 200 pounds over what it takes, all right? I mean, it's just unheard of. So you never know what's going to happen, okay? What helps us in this is that if we can get that good exchange ratio, okay, for our money. So we got $10, we spent $10, and the $10 was well invested in the fertilizer, and we know that that plant is absorbing it and using it, okay, and it's getting a healthier plant, it's getting a better, healthier fruit, and a bigger, heavier fruit, then we can, we're saving money on that, right? And then if we don't win or way offs, well, it's not such a big hit, okay? We can kind of stand that, all right? That's just one way to look at it, as a money aspect. But let's look at it this way. Let's look at it as you win and you spent less money. So that's less money you're paying yourself back with the winnings that you had, and that much more money you can spend on your patch in the future, okay? Because you used a superior product that had guaranteed analysis on it that told you exactly what it was going to do, and you could see the results in the first few days, not weeks, but in the first few days of using these products. Guys, they'll tell you, Prevegenics will tell you, I'm very honest and upfront with them, okay? In fact, maybe that hurts me a bit, being honest and upfront with them, but I just, that's all how I am. I'm honest and upfront with everybody. And let me tell you something, if it did not work, I tell them go kick rocks. This is a fact. It works though. I've seen it work. You've seen it work in here, okay? We're not outside yet, but you're seeing a little bit of what it does inside, okay? So if you're seeing a little bit of what it can do inside to a small degree, think of what it can do outside when all the conditions are right, okay? When we've got good sun, when we've, instead of lights, right? We've got actual heat instead of having to use, the heat inside the house, you know what I mean? And things are a whole lot better outside than they are in here, right? Imagine what'll happen then. All right, guys, so we're going to have a two-part series on this video, maybe even a three-part. So we're going to end it right here and get the second part started up and running, and get you guys all the information you need on these Prevegenics products and why they're beneficial to you and why you should use them. So, man, look at all this stuff over here growing. Peas are coming up. Look at all the peas coming up. We'll get here and water here in a little bit. Man, look at all this Swiss chard coming up. Good night, 11. We have to water it all. Anyhow, guys, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next episode right here in the Hollers and Hills of West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to share.
Thank you, good sir.
You're welcome. And subscribe.